Today, we're digging into a powerful story. It's a real cautionary tale about the spaces we all share, and how one seemingly small, selfish choice can end up having devastating consequences. So let's just jump right in with a question. When you look at a public facility, what do you see? A resource that's there for everybody, or an opportunity just for you? Is it a public convenience, or has it become your own personal warehouse? First things first, we gotta understand what these spaces are actually for. They're not just there. They're designed with a really important purpose, to give people a little bit of comfort and safety. They're supposed to be a shared haven, especially for those who need it most, a place to get out of the sun or a refuge from the rain.
And to really see what happens when we forget that, we're going to look at a story. It's about a man named Ramanbhai and a single choice he made that had these tragic, tragic ripples.
Okay, so picture this, a busy street in Ahmedabad. And there's Ramanbhai. He runs a little tea stall, just trying to make a living like anybody else. And, this is where it all starts. Not with some big, evil plan, but with a simple, tempting thought. Ramanbhai sees this public shelter nearby, and it's usually empty. And he thinks to himself, hey, that empty corner would be perfect for my extra stuff. And right there, in that one moment, a public space starts to become a private one. And wow, it escalates fast, doesn't it? It starts small, just a few sacks of coal, kind of tucked away. But then, it's some plastic buckets and extra benches. Pretty soon, the entire shelter, a place meant for people, is just his free warehouse. The public is literally pushed out, left standing in the sun or the rain.
All right, this is where things take a turn, because every choice we make has a consequence, right? Well, Ramanbhai's was about to hit, and it was going to hit hard with the force of a storm.
And just like that, it happens. The sky just opens up. A torrential downpour begins. And in moments like that, a simple bus shelter, well, it stops being a convenience and becomes absolutely essential. And who's standing right there at the bus stop? An elderly woman. You can just picture her clutching a bag of her medicines. She is exactly the kind of person these shelters are built for, and she desperately needs to get out of that rain. So naturally, she turns to the shelter. It's right there. It's her one source of refuge. But she can't get in. And you have to wonder, why? What could possibly be stopping her from getting to safety? The answer? It's Ramanbhai's stuff. His convenience. The shelter is just choked with his wet sacks and his junk. There's no room for her. So she's left there, trapped in the rain. The cold soaks right through her. She starts to shiver, and then the unthinkable happens. She collapses right there on the road. And this is the truly devastating part of the story. The woman wasn't a stranger. When people rush to help her, they find out she's Ramanbhai's own aunt. She was on her way to visit him. Think about that. The very shelter he's selfishly claimed for himself could have saved a member of his own family. Wow. That story, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It forces us to look past just one person's mistake and think about our collective responsibility. This isn't just about Ramanbhai. It's about how we all treat the spaces we're supposed to share. And really, it all boils down to this stark contrast. On one hand, what these places are meant for, a safe spot, a refuge, a moment of comfort. But on the other hand, the reality of how they can be misused as private storage, a public eyesore, and as we just saw, a literal danger in an emergency. So let's be clear. Treating a public shelter like your own personal warehouse isn't just messy or against some minor rule. It is fundamentally taking away another person's right to safety and comfort in their own community. Okay, so what can we actually do about it? The good news is, it's pretty straightforward. First, if you see a public space being misused like this, report it to your local authorities. Second, let's all just take a little personal responsibility to keep these shared areas clear. And third, sometimes a gentle, friendly reminder to someone is all it takes to make a difference. I want to leave you with this one thought. It's a really powerful one. Convenience is for everyone. Possession is for no one. The moment one person decides to possess a shared space, that convenience is destroyed for everybody else. It's a pretty important reminder, right? That our shared spaces only work when we all remember we're in this together.
एक कदम विकसित भारत की ओर।